All right. A few of you have had some confusion and some questions about the journal. So I want to walk you through how we do it and sort of the reason for it. So this video is going to help you with your cover, journal entry 1, and journal entry 2. So first of all, if you're looking at the cover, we talked about this in class, but in case you missed it, you need to find an image. You're welcome to draw that if you want. But the way that I found this image is I just typed this search into Google image search, antebellum daguerreotype. That's a type of photograph, and it tells the time period. And find one that's appropriate for your person. We're talking about the 1860s. So if the photo that you have right now is of someone in the 21st century, well, you're not really showing me you understand your person. Secondly, you're just in this first page, you're telling us the basics, right? So I've told you about Lysander, where he's from, that he's married. I didn't specify that he was a white man in middle age because you can tell that from the picture, but that's something you can do. And then when you want to think about what to write about, this is the advice that I've given people who are stuck. I would say right now, look up the weather today in the state where your person is from and just write about how your character would feel about that. We have a lot in common with people, even people who lived 160 years ago. They thought about the weather the same way we do. So that's just a place to start, and that would work fine. Entry number 1 is on, I think, page 2. And what it's asking you to do is describe how your state defines your identity. So we did look at art in class. I'm going to tell you a couple other things you can do. You need to think about the questions at the bottom in your journal entry. But here's a place to start, right? Pick a place and look for pictures of it, right? If you're having trouble imagining what your place looks like. So if someone was, I had another person I was helping in class, and they said they're from California. I'm sorry, they're from South Carolina, but they're like, I don't know where I'm from. I don't know how to talk about it. So I've heard of Edisto, South Carolina. So I thought I'd look that up. And I think I might need to go on a vacation there because it looks beautiful. So I just searched a place in South Carolina, and then I've got image search. And wow, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful place. And how would that influence how you saw things, right? If you lived in this beach community, maybe you could even talk about your person, how much they love living by the ocean. I'm guessing that Edisto has a downtown. So I'm going to search that up and try and picture that. Obviously, this is today in the 21st century, but you can tell that if you're a business owner, you're going to be in a small town like this. Okay, so you have Google image search, you have the world at your fingertips. You should use that as a way to kind of put yourself in this place. We have historic images of other places. Look them up. Use that as inspiration to get yourself started. Imagine your person there and then think about the answers to the questions that I've asked for this journal entry. Think about 1860. Are you living in a free or a slave state? So yes, South Carolina is beautiful and there's a beautiful beach, but you're living in a slave state. And how do you feel about that? That's going to depend on who your person is. This is really important to creating your character to answer these questions. This is how you show me that you understand the time period that we've been studying for actually a lot of the school year. If you can't tell me this, then that means you don't understand anything that we've been doing in class. Next, I need you to write how you feel about it, right? Put your character in those shoes. I'm going to show you an example of that. First of all, this is essential to introducing your character like we talked about in class. By the end, they will have transformed. They may still have the same feelings about people, and they may still be, racist and support slavery. But at the end of the war, all of that will be taken away, and they won't be able to have slavery anymore. And how will they feel about that? So this is my journal entry, but I wanted to show you one that your classmates, or no, let's go with this one. So remember, I just talked about Wisconsin, how cold it was, and then just getting in a little bit to it's a free state, right? So I said, I'm an immigrant. I was born in Canada, but Wisconsin's very forward thinking. a new political party, the Republicans, started up in this state just last year. I agree with them. I don't think slavery should be able to expand into the territories, right? And so we're going to bring that story through later in his story. All right, entry 2 is about how do you fit in? This is important to understanding your person's social standing, which is going to influence their decision about how they want to participate in the war and how they want to support it. And so that's why I do need you to complete this entry as well. So it says, write a journal entry that helps you explain how people in your hometown see you. So this is a little bit based on your job, right? So remember, if you don't make very much money, perhaps you aren't very well respected in your community, but that's going to make you much more likely to take advantage of some opportunities. Perhaps you're very well respected in your town. You're a merchant, you're a doctor, something like that. And so people are going to look to you for your opinions, and you're going to have a powerful position. So answering these questions really helps me to know that you understand your character's point of view. And so that's why this is worth doing. I wanted to show you an example from someone in my third hour. And he was stuck. And I asked him a few questions, and this is how he got to where he was. He says, I work as a merchant in the city of Camden. So generally I am respected. It's a good point. But he's a Native American, right? So the way that he's respected is a little different from other merchants in town. Some people don't buy from me, but go buy from another merchant because they're white. And I feel hurt by that, the way people act towards me. But other than that, the people of Camden are good to me, and I have a lot of loyal customers. And then he just kind of goes on with the rest of his life. What does he do for fun? He buys books, and he likes to relax and read. And so that helps me to understand the perspective of his character. And so now I know that when we come back to this, as the action is rising and the conflict is happening, that's going to influence how his character reacts. So that's how to complete your journal entry.